New year, better me on the Shay Moore Morning Show, giving up game on finances, fitness, and relationships today. Dr. Tartt, creator of the Ring Formula, is here to get the single girlies ready to get that ring before spring. Welcome, Dr. Tartt.
That's right.
This is really a serious situation, if you ask me. It almost feels like relationships are under attack. Men don't trust women. Women don't trust men. What do the single girls do who desire to be married?
It is all about mindset. Shay, we are who we've dated, right? So if you've dated and you've had great relationships, you feel like you can get into another one. But if you've dated and you have not had great relationships, you see dating as something that is traumatic. So there's certain steps, there's certain things that we can do to protect us from negative experiences and propel us into positive dating experiences.
Okay, pen and paper is ready. I'm single, Dr. Tartt. I was in a 5-year
Don't tell me
relationship.
that. Don't tell me.
Honey,
I'll
get me
send
together,
prospects
okay?
to your
I was in a 5-year long distance relationship with somebody that lived in Atlanta. And of course, I'm here in Kansas City. I moved back to Atlanta and he and I lasted 5 months in the same house. So I want to know what I can do to move past that relationship and actually seal the deal this time.
One is, how do we get over heartbreak instead of carrying that disappointment and trauma into the next relationship? And of course, I'm going to recommend counseling. But for those who can't get counseling, here's how to do it yourself. One, set a date as to when you're going to be over that relationship. Like, you're really setting a heartbreak date. Like, I'm going to mourn. I'm going to mourn for 3 months. I'm going to mourn for 6 months. And I'm going to do my best to move on. Two, you're going to look at the relationship and you're going to ask yourself, why did it end? When we blame ourselves, we're less likely to date. Because if people don't like me because of whatever perceived fault or slight or insecurities I have, why would I put myself in another situation to be rejected? So do the self-work. But if you're looking at it and say, hey, I dated someone, come on, I'm going to say the P word, with potential. I didn't screen them. I went past red flags because maybe I have a history of being a people pleaser, or I thought I could change them, or they were the best thing I had. I didn't have many options. Then you can say, I can just stop doing that again. And I can do what realtors and banks do. I can start screening who I date so that I never date anyone who's poor in relationships again. So think about it. A lot of times, women look for tall, dark, handsome, even though, I'm a light-skinned brother. We're not out of style. I don't care what people say. If I'm talking to women, we look at how much security they provide. We look at how they look. We look at their physique. We look at their charisma. But we forget to ask the most critical questions. How good of a lover are you? I'm not talking about peaches. I know I'm talking about. I'm talking about, do you forgive? Do you communicate? Do you shut down? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Are you consistent? Do you anticipate my needs? Are you going to consistently plan dates? Do you believe in equality in relationships? I'm not saying we have the same role, but do you believe that you should be as happy as I should be, or are you a narcissist? See, when we look at those standards, like the bank, like a realtor, I promise you a realtor never show you a house you don't qualify for. Bank can never give you credit without doing a credit check. As women and as men, we should do the same thing. Let me check your relationship credit to see if you're someone I should even let into my heart. So at least when we date, I'm dating a good person.
Still talking with Dr. Tartt, creator of the Ring Formula. You've got some tips that will help the single girls get ready for marriage, and you've developed these tips over years of counseling couples and singles.
Correct. One, make sure you like yourself first. If you don't feel like you're at least an 8 out of a 10 when it comes to dating, you're not going to date someone good. You're gonna reach, you're gonna settle, or you're gonna sabotage the relationship. Because when you're at the dating table, when someone asks you, tell me about yourself, you actually have to like what you say to have confidence. Why? Men are attracted to confidence. It's not necessarily physique, but they're attracted to the most confident woman in the room. She's the one that's most attractive. Number two, ladies, I'm gonna say it, you have to position yourself around the kind of men who you'd like to date. When we look at women who have more dates, they're more social. They're more social online. They're more social in person because it's a math game. If you're social 2-3 times a week around the kind of men who you like, and you know how to, the step number 3, work a room. You don't just sit in the room. You're actually able to go up and ask what brings you out today. You're able to start a conversation. I know the women listen to this like, oh, that's me. If you're around a lot of men on a regular basis, this is your life. You just go to the gym where most of the men work out. You're not going where women work out. You're going to the business events where men are. Or you're going to the social events where men are. Why would you go be around a lot of women if you want men to see you, talk to you, flirt with you, you screen them, and then you go on dates?
Let me pause it for just 1 second. I'm a very traditional girl. Oddly enough, I am. I don't want to be the initiator in the relationship. I feel like if I initiate, then I'll have to do that throughout the whole relationship. What do you think about that?
Things have changed, right? And men actually like assertive women. I'm not saying you go up and you ask a man on a date. I think that is ridiculous, even though there are some men that will respond to that, especially modern day. But what you must do is position yourself around the man you like and just develop the art of small talk.
Mm-hmm.
You coming up to me at a business meeting and ask me how long I've been a part of an organization is not you being forward. That's you having soft skills. That's what sales reps do. That's what politicians do. That's what people who have a bunch of friends, that's how they work a room, right? And so if you come up to me, just ask me, how long I've been part of the NAACP, or how long I've been a psychologist, or what brings me out to the Afro Fusion Jazz Festival. That's not being forward. So what you've done is now my attention's on you. You're asking me a harmless, neutral question, and if I like you and I'm single and I find you attractive and I'm available, and God forbid I'm marriage-minded, I'm going to flirt with you. See, that woman is superior to the woman who, first of all, is not going to go out because she feels there's no good men out there. She's not going to have an online presence, so she's not going to have anyone in her DMs. And then if she goes out, she's going to watch the room while this ring formula sister is working a room and leaves with 3 or 4 business cards and 2 potential dates who she needs to screen. She's being effective in positioning, working the room, and getting guys to be into her, and then they pursue.
New Year, Better Me segment with relationship expert Dr. Tartt. Connect with him at Dr. Tartt on Instagram and theringformula.com. If you're just now joining us, he gave us 3 tips to get you closer to marriage. 1, like yourself. 2, be around men. 3, work the room. What's 4?
Have high standards. So when they ask you what you're looking for, that's your opportunity to say. And I encourage women to write this out. That's one of the things that we have them do in Ring Formula. Write it out. I'm looking for a man who's God-fearing, who believes in chivalry, who is a family man, who's a great communicator, who, if we're having problems, is open to going to counseling or praying or fasting. I'm looking for someone with a more traditional role who likes to take the lead in relationships, but is also secure enough with a sister who's doing well that he wants to support and encourage her versus compete with her. I'm looking for someone who is open to blended family, and I'm looking for someone and believes in setting goals and working together for couples goals. That's how your profile should read, right? Because now you're screening. A lot of men who are marriage-minded are going to like that. Now, the men who can't do that, they're just going to eliminate themselves right off the bat and say, well, that's not me, and therefore you avoid men who are beneath your standards. That's what banks do. That's what realtors do. That's what companies do. They vet and have high standards. So the only people who apply are superstars. Therefore, they never see these bad men. They don't know who they are because they screen. Banks don't know people with bad credit who they do business with. A realtor's never seen someone that didn't qualify for a house that they show. They don't make it that far. And so ladies, and men too, but ladies, I encourage you to screen. Are you going to get less men? Yes, but you're going to get better men, and that matters when it comes to your dating experience.
Dr. Tartt, you're a very accomplished man. You're handsome. You've got degrees, a thriving practice. What did your wife do to catch your attention?
She did exactly what I said. She came to me, meaning she positioned herself, and she did it like with an email. My wife is in sales, and she asked to do an event, right? And at first I ignored it because I didn't think it was serious. And then she followed up and said, hey, let me know. We have a budget. And then I went to her Facebook page, and I said, I don't want to do business with this woman. I want to date her, right? I'm for real. I said, forget a luncheon. Let's do it. Let's do a dinner. God brought her to me because I'm a man of faith. And so at that dinner, God says, she is the one, right? And then I started to court her. Now, that's how we got into the singles work because she works with me on the Ring Formula. We've been doing that ever since, and now we've graduated into helping single women and also, doing marriage retreats for couples. She put herself in my face. Then I did the rest. And on behalf of my brethren out there who want to have healthy marriages, there are a lot of men out there who are upset because they cannot find these women. I know that sounds crazy to you ladies. They're complaining that they can't find marriage-minded women to even flirt with. They can't find you. And if you think about it, where would these men meet you? Where are they going and where are you going, so that at least y'all can see each other and increase your chances of dating someone really good who wants marriage or at least a committed relationship.
So I really want to continue this conversation with you, Dr. Tartt. We've got to do something to put men and women back together. I'm just saying. Connect with him on Instagram at Dr. Tartt, that's TARTT, and on theringformula.com.
Let's do it. Join the email list, and I'll tell you when we're doing our next set of coaching so that you can get quality dates to give you a real chance at meeting a great man and getting that ring. Thank you, Shay.
Until next time, Dr. Tartt, thank you.
All right, God bless.